Dr. Thom Cavalli, psychologist, writer, and I will be participating in this year's 4th International Alchemy Conference. Their website is alchemyconference.com. I invite you to take a look at the many programs and great speakers that they're going to be presented in their program. This year will be held at the Long Beach Convention Center from Friday, September 16th through September 18th. My participation actually begins with one of the first workshops, which is entitled Becoming Osiris, Journey to Eternity. And I'll have a few words that I want to tell you to describe what we will be actually doing in there. The conference will end with me giving a keynote address on the 5,000-year-old myth of Osiris and how it applies to some of the biogenetic research that's taking place today. So let me say a few more words about the workshop. It really truly is a workshop in which we will actually be making something. You know, it is my belief that alchemy began much, much sooner than the 200 BC, which you'll read in most textbooks. In fact, I believe it goes back to the Old Kingdom, 3000 BC. Now, what we're going to be focusing on is what I would contend is the first alchemical experiment, and that is the mummification ritual. Now, I want you to be mindful of a couple things. One, this is not just a traditional historic talk about mummification, because it really is going to invite audience participation and really aimed at personal transformation, how we put the past to the service of the present. But it will also involve the actual making of a mummy. We will invite people up to wrap this mummy. It will involve the ritual called the opening of the mouth, ritual which has to do with a kind of a rite of passage or initiation rite, and in my view it is a way of contacting and working with the collective unconscious. It's aimed at being as much fun as being informative. Now the keynote address is something a little bit different. The focus there is on taking this 5,000-year-old myth of Osiris. This Osiris was the god of the dead, and following his evolution to what I presently would call is the Osiris is the god of regeneration. And that's key to making the point that as we look at contemporary biogenetic research and the strange creatures essentially that are coming out of contemporary labs are unguided, and they really need a presence like the god of regeneration. We need Osiris to help us ethically and spiritually and morally guide us so that the creations that we not just make in the lab, but the laboratory of the earth with the green revolution, which I believe has very much to do with the green-skinned god Osiris, leading us into a humane and responsible future. And finally, what I will be introducing is a new concept that I've coined alchemical activism. I will have more to say about that in the address, defining what it is, but principally, what are the responsibilities that today alchemy, or by whatever word you choose to describe the royal art, how it applies to us in our daily living life, so that the world that we create for the future is one that we'd be happy to hand over to our children and their children. Thank you. Please come join us. It'll be a lot of fun.